Welcome to Sideline Sports, where we give you an up-close and personal look at the teams, coaches, and athletes that make up the South Sound. Here's your host, Jeff Slakey.
High school football playoffs are in the air. Welcome to Sideline Sports. T-Birds battle in state playoffs. It's the end of an era for Shelton football. The Shelton Wrestlers are back on the mat. And Tumwater football versus Archbishop Murphy in the game of the week.
This portion is being brought to you in part by
Mason General Hospital, United Community, Empowered People, Exceptional Health. A spot in the state semifinals on the line for Tumwater football.
A big crowd was on hand at Harry E. Lang Stadium in Lakewood as Tumwater took on Steilacoom in state quarterfinal action. The T-Birds got on the board first, taking a 3-0 lead on a Nathan Seaman 24-yard field goal. Tumwater would add to their lead just 40 seconds into the second quarter when running back Dylan Payne found the end zone for a 2-yard score. Jordan Bush Johnson would respond for the Sentinels, taking a pass 78 yards to the house, cutting the lead to 10-7. Nathan Seaman would add 2 field goals to close out the half for the T-Birds, leading 16-7. Both teams would add a touchdown in the third quarter, with Tumwater taking a 23-13 lead into the fourth. The T-Bird defense would step up big down the stretch, including a game-sealing pick by Connor Clark with just 3 minutes remaining. Tumwater would hold on for the 23-13 victory, advancing to the state semifinals for the 15th time in school history. The T-Birds will next play top-ranked Archbishop Murphy with a trip to the state finals on the line. I'm Sean Wells for iFiber One Sports.
Sideline Sports is being brought to you in part by
The Gillis Auto Center. At Gillis, you're covered forever. Coach Hinkle says goodbye to players and coaches after a long run as Shelton head coach.
It's the end of an era at Shelton High School. After 23 years as head coach of High Climber football, Matt Hinkle has resigned from coaching the program, effective immediately. Hinkle informed his players and members of the Shelton football community of his decision at the team's end-of-the-season banquet. Shelton finished the 2017 season with a 1-9 overall record, knocking off Mount Tahoma in Hinkle's final game as head coach. Matt says his decision to resign came down to a number of factors, but ultimately it was his choice to walk away.
There are factors, the resignation was, on me. Certainly in any job you get, no matter how successful or unsuccessful you are, you get people who like you and don't like you, and that's just the nature of the beast. So, I don't know from the other end of it, it's a decision that I made, my wife and I made, and that's what we're living with.
Hinkle says it was tough saying goodbye to his players and coaching staff, but he is confident the kids will continue to do great things as student athletes in the Shelton community.
They're resilient, they're great kids. Good year, bad year, they're great kids, so they're going to bounce back. It's not, like somebody moved away forever, so, it's tough, but they're young and they move on.
Matt grew up in the South Sound, playing high school football at Tumwater under Hall of Fame coach Sid Otten, and went on to play collegiately at Western Washington University. He will continue to teach geometry at Shelton High School through the end of the school year, but admits he's open to different opportunities after that.
I don't know. It's just, we'll play it by ear. It's kind of an exciting time. It's just all I grew up about 30 miles away from here, and my wife's been driving, commuting. She works over in Olympia, so maybe it's time for let her not have the commute. We'll see. It's kind of exciting in the fact that still got a few more years to go, so I just got to figure out what we want to do.
I'm Sean Wells for iFiber One Sports.
Sideline Sports is being brought to you in part by
Shelton Wrestlers are looking to build off last year's postseason success.
Shelton Wrestlers are back on the mat in the Shelton Mini Dome, gearing up for a brand new season of high climber wrestling. This year's team features close to 50 wrestlers, including 10 freshmen. Leading the way for the high climbers this season will be junior Quinn Lacey. Lacey placed third at the state championships last year in the 170-pound weight division. This summer, Lacey helped Team Washington win a junior duels national championship in Fargo, North Dakota. Quinn hopes that experience will help advance her techniques this season.
It was definitely an amazing thing to be a part of, and it definitely showed me how to be a better wrestler. And just watching all of that high-level wrestling at Fargo, where the national tournament was, it really sparked some interest in wanting to be like better and move faster, and just be more like them than what I have been previously.
This year's squad features a number of upperclassmen who competed in last year's district and regional playoffs. Shelton head coach Chris Lacey thinks that postseason experience makes this year's team one of his most talented in recent memory.
This is a team that should be as successful as any group we've coached. That's how successful we can be if we have a great season, if we enjoy the moments, train hard, really work on our confidence and our preparation going into matches throughout the season.
This will be the second season Shelton are competing in the newly formed South Sound Conference. Coach Lacey expects a tough challenge every match, but thinks his wrestlers are ready to rise to the challenge.
Like every match that we wrestle well and we win in, we earned that. It's very rarely because our opponent made a mistake. It's very rarely because they weren't prepared for their match. It's because we did something well if we win. And that's something that I love about being in a tough league, and it really does make you rise up as an athlete.
The new season gets underway Thursday, December 7th with Shelton hosting North Thurston. I'm Sean Wells for iFiber One Sports.
Previous results in football: O'Day over Ferndale, 42-14. Rainier Beach beats Peninsula, 38-28. And Hawkinson over Liberty, 34-20. In soccer, Issaquah 2, Central Valley 1. Mercer Island 4, Stadium 1. Liberty 3, Columbia River 0. Our game of the week is Tumwater football taking on Archbishop Murphy in state semifinal action. T-Birds coming off a quarterfinal round victory knocking off Steilacoom 23-13. Top-ranked Archbishop Murphy snuck by North Kitsap 28-21 to advance in the state playoffs. The two teams met last year in the state quarterfinals, with Archbishop Murphy getting the better of Tumwater, winning 48-10. And upcoming in football, Woodinville versus Sumner, Garfield versus Rainier Beach, Hawkinson versus West Valley. This has been another presentation of Sideline Sports. I'm Jeff Slakey.